can't wait for tomorrow night. Latest set of college football playoff rankings. Can't wait to see where all the teams land, what the projected matchups are, where Miami is, where Utah is, where BYU is. I think it's going to be really fun. And speaking of the Big 12 with BYU, good job by BYU beating Cincy. I think every sharp bettor had Cincinnati. We all lost. BYU wins that game 26-14. How about Utah somehow winning a game 51-47, where Kansas State, their opponent, rushed for like almost 500. I'm not kidding. Rushed for like 500 yards in the game, and they lost. Utah with a miracle comeback to keep the college football playoff hopes alive, beating Kansas State. And just talk a little bit more about Saturday. Arch Manning and Diego Pavia with 6 touchdowns apiece, respectively, for Texas and for Vandy. Vandy waylays Kentucky. That's the second time I've said waylay. I like it. Sue me. And Texas lays it down on Arkansas. And it's going to set up just a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous rivalry week. I want to begin the rivalry week discussion with the biggest story right now in college football. I'm just going to see what the point spread of the game is. Stand by here. And this game's going to be played on Friday. So it's Black Friday at noon. The Egg Bowl is Ole Miss visits Mississippi State. The Rebels, 7.5-point road favorites, total is 62.5. I've been consistent for weeks on this show. Like maybe close to a month. It's probably been like 3 weeks. Ole Miss is making the playoff. Like, I think they could lose, and I think they are still 100% into the playoff, even if they lose to Mississippi State on Friday. So the conversation that we're about to have is not, is Ole Miss going to miss the playoff? The Lane Kiffin drama is hanging over this game like a specter, like a black cloud. Lane is doing typical Lane things that Al Davis warned us about like 20 years ago when he fired Lane as coach of the then Oakland Raiders in one of the most memorable press conferences in the history of press conferences, reading from a projector. Really funny stuff. And if you haven't seen it, I would actually urge you to go on YouTube and find it and watch it. It is like Al Davis is doing unintentional stand-up comedy in that press conference. Lane, it seems like there are 3 options for him. And maybe there's a 4, maybe Penn State's, I have no idea. He's either going to A, stay at Ole Miss, B, go to LSU, or C, go to Florida. And he's playing them all against each other. Lane Kiffin right now is like, if you ever watch like Bachelor in Paradise or like one of these dating shows where the guy has like a bunch of different options and you want him to pick one because you care about the women in this instance, right? Like you don't want the women to be strong along. No one wants to be strong along in general in their lives. And the guy is being a selfish a-hole and he's stringing them along for his own personal benefit. That's Lane Kiffin because he can't decide. He's taken this up to the 11th hour, to the point, and we told you this last week on the show, that Ole Miss AD Keith Carter, and the only reason I know his name is because like it's plastered all over the place now, said that there will be a decision made on Saturday. And I've actually talked to, I don't have like great college football sources, I never claim to, but I have talked to some people with some knowledge of things. And they think that this is Keith Carter forcing Lane's hand. Like, you're not going to drag this out any longer. This is coming to a head. It's coming to an end. There will be finality. There will be a decision by Saturday after the Egg Bowl. So here's my question to everybody, right? If you're an Ole Miss player, you're obviously aware of this, right? Like, you know what's happening with your head coach. And you know that if he goes to LSU or goes to Florida, like, you're going to play in the college football playoff without your head coach. He leaves you at the altar. Like, I would say literally, but they're not getting married, but you understand. Like, basically as literally as you can get without being literally. He's going to leave them at the altar at the 11th hour. Like, everyone's in the church, the organ's playing, the groom standing up there, and the bride just never shows up as Here Comes the Bride's playing. Instead, they're going to play the LSU fight song or the Florida fight song. You don't think this is going to impact these young men? This is the human condition, right? Like, you go all out and you put it all on the line for someone because you believe in them, right? I think it's fair to say, and think about, like, you may disagree with me, but is this a fair comment I'm about to make? If they don't know if Lane's going to coach the team, are they going to lay it all on the line on Friday against Mississippi State? I'm not suggesting Ole Miss is going to lose. I'm not betting Mississippi State money line. But at 7.5, that's the number right now. Oh, yeah. I bet Mississippi State. So I have a Mississippi State plus 7.5 ticket. I would like to fade the Lane Kiffin circus right now in Oxford. And I'll take the 7.5 with Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. Couple of other huge games, rivalry weekends. A lot of credit goes to Ohio State, and a lot of credit goes to Michigan, who did not fall victim, yet another Nick Costos college football loser from the weekend. Remember at the start of the year? I do. It wasn't that long ago. When I couldn't lose a college football bet. Those were fun times. Things have a way of evening out. Great start to the year, terrible ending. Hopefully things get better. I think they will, and I mean that sincerely. Neither Ohio State nor Michigan fall victim to the dreaded look-ahead spot. Both win, both cover. Michigan destroys Maryland. Ohio State takes care of Purdue. Ahead of the big game, where Michigan has a chance with, I don't know how you deny Michigan if Michigan wins this game and beats Ohio State. They will have 2 losses. The 2 losses will be against USC and Oklahoma. They're not losing to jabronis. And they will have the best single win that any team has had this year in college football if they beat Ohio State. I think Michigan wins and they're in. And the first move in the betting market is towards the Wolverines. Last night, she said, "Oh, baby, I feel so down." Last night, Ohio State was 11.5. That's Jet, for those wondering. Ohio State was 11.5. Today, Ohio State's 10. So some bullishness on Michigan. The total is 44.5. You already know what I'm doing with this game. I know that Michigan's taking care of business, and they've won 4 straight times, and it doesn't matter if it's Harbaugh, it doesn't matter if it's Sharon Moore, it doesn't matter if Jack Sawyer, the hero, picks off Davis Warren at the goal line. Michigan wins these games. It's been a dramatic role reversal, right, from Ohio State dominating for all those years. Now Michigan has dominated this rivalry. But this Ohio State team has historic potential. And they didn't make it this far just to stub their toe before the Big Ten title game, where they will win and cover against Indiana. You know I like Ohio State on Saturday. I don't even know if I needed to say it. Love Ohio State. Last note for today, and we'll do a ton of college football on the show tomorrow, and obviously on Wednesday. Wednesday's a Friday show this week. So I'm going to give you all the bets for college football and the NFL weekend coming up on Wednesday. So Wednesday's the Friday show this week. Iron Bowl. Bama, a 5.5-point favorite at Auburn, total 48.5. I do think this is a win and in for Bama, winning in the playoffs. If Bama, let's say Bama wins and makes the SEC title game and loses, Bama's not out with 3 losses if they lose in the SEC title game. Bama's still in. So a lot of pressure on Bama in this game. And I think it's early in the week, right? I think you're going to see a lot of people make the case for Auburn, where Jordan Hare can be a house of horrors at night. Maybe this is a Kalen DeBoer spot where they don't perform. I think Bama's way too good. I don't know if I'm going to lay the points with Bama, but I do think Bama wins and punches its ticket to the college football playoff.